Representatives, senators, we've been talking to them all, getting their take on what's been going on here in the waning stages of this shortened session in Hartford. Hi there, it's Meet the Leaders from the state capitol. I'm David Smith. Good to have you along with us today as we try and clear the air as to what's been going on and what may still yet have life of its own here. Fred Camillo is with us. He represents the 151st District of Greenwich, and it's always good to see you, Freddie. How are you?
Very well. Be a little bit better tomorrow, Dave, but always good to see you.
Oh, I'll bet. We should also say that Freddie has been on a weight loss program that is obviously working very effectively. You feeling good still?
Yeah, gonna have a lot of energy for the summer, doing a little kayaking with my dog and doing some running, so yeah.
Well, good on you.
Thank you.
Hey, look, doing the hours that you've been doing here will take the weight off most people. It has been that busy and that long and so forth. How are you seeing what has occurred and what is still going to occur or might occur?
It's a great question, David. Every year when we sit down with you and we go over, a lot of it is similar to what years going on in years past. But this year, what I'm finding is a lot of bills that are coming down have titles, very bold titles, and doesn't always reflect sometimes what's in the bill. So it may say an act concerning clean air or an act concerning women's health. But it's, so if you vote against something like that, people say, wow, what did you do?
How could you do that?
How could you do that? So the public, that's inside baseball stuff, but the public doesn't always see that. And I'm sure both sides, play around with that and titles and amendments, but certainly at the end of the day, we really have to focus on what's in the bill, and if it's not what it purports to be, try and make it better. And some of the bills have been worked on and made better, but we're hopefully going to be seeing a couple long talkers that will be written about tomorrow in a few minutes.
Are there some? And clearly, the budget is still the major order of business, because that is not put together the two sides, and being so close in equivalencies of Senate and legislators on both sides makes it sometimes easier, sometimes more difficult. Budgetary, more difficult, I think.
Absolutely, and I think having balance here is a good thing for the state of Connecticut. One-party rule, when it's a supermajority, I don't care what party it is, you're going to end up sometimes with a lot of bad legislation. Last year, it was a bipartisan budget, the first one that I've seen in my 10 years here, and it had a lot of reforms in it. It was really, really good and something that we're very proud of, but it was a starting point. There's still a lot more to do, and if we want to really turn Connecticut around to being the state it once was, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, a leader, an economic leader, and a place that people moved to and not moved away from. If we want to do that, we have to continue on those reforms that we started last fall. And what's going to happen, I think you'll see a budget that's pretty close, I think. I don't know what we're going to see later on today, but the rumors are the Democrats have come a little bit more over towards the Republican side, but time will tell. But at the end of the day, it will get us through this year and into next. But what happens in November, I'm praying for more balance and just having a competitive makeup of the legislature will compel people to work together.
But this is going to be an interesting November. They always are, but this in particular, because let's face it, the head of the state, the governor, has had his share of popularity problems. That is for sure. How will that reflect itself on the election in November? And of course, Washington has had its share of negativity as well. And what kind of an impact will that have
No one
in
knows.
November?
David, it's a great question, and it's something that everybody, all 187 legislators, have that on their mind. Will the fall elections be dominated by the records and visions of the incumbents, or will it be a referendum on Donald Trump at the national level, or a referendum on Dan Malloy on the state level? We don't know, and I just tell people, run on your record and your vision. It's two things. You can't just do one or the other. It's got to be both. What you've done, be proud of it, explain it, and then what your vision is. If somebody wants to run and bring in outside issues, then that's on them. But you need to bring it back to and focus on what our jobs are. I don't have Donald Trump's number, so I can't call him. I can't affect change in D.C. I do have Dan Malloy's number, but I don't call him. But certainly he's got his own agenda still. And all we can do here is put forth ours and work with our counterparts across the aisle and within our own caucus and focus on making Connecticut, continuing those reforms that I just spoke about into the next year and beyond. But besides that, anything else we really have no control over, even what the congressional members do, and our Connecticut delegation in Washington. We can talk to them and write to them, but at the end of the day, they're the ones doing the voting, and it doesn't really have anything to do with our jobs.
Well, people have to recognize that all politics is local, and you can only do and work on your record and what you've been able to accomplish, and that's invaluable. So, I want to thank you very much. It's always good to see you.
It's always good to see you, David.
Take it easy now. Don't disappear on us. We'll look forward to catching up with you soon, Freddie.
Same here,
Fred
David.
Camillo, one of those who's working down to the wire here and looking forward to November after all is said and done. Some might say a glutton for punishment. In any case, that's Meet the Leaders. I'm David Smith.